Welcome to Elimu TV. My name is JP Kamau, and this is our mathematics lesson, Form 3, in preparation for the Kenya Certificate of Secondary Education. And today, we'll continue studying the quadratic equations, which we started in our previous lesson. Now, I clarified last time that a quadratic expression is just an expression, whereas a quadratic equation will have an equal sign. Either, maybe you may be given x squared minus 2x plus 3 is equals to 0, as opposed to x squared minus 2x plus 3. Now, this is an expression, and this is an equation. Now, in today's lesson, we are going to discover how to use quadratic formula to solve quadratic equations. Now, the quadratic formula comes from the method of completing the square, which we have been dealing with. And I want to take you a little bit to the method of completing the square by looking at one question. You are given, supposing you are given p squared minus 20p plus k plus 3. And you are told that this is a perfect square. We like to see how do we come up with the value of k, because k is what is not known. Now, in order to determine k, we have to see that this, the entire of that part, is the last term. And using the formula that we learned last time, that the last term is equals to the middle term squared divided by 4 and multiply by the first term. So in this case, we will be saying that k over 3, k plus 3, which is our last term, is equals to what? We have middle term, negative 20 whole squared divided by 4 times the first term is p squared. So when you open the bracket, we'll get 400 p squared divided by 4p squared. P squared can cancel with p squared. 4, and there goes 100. And so we can now say k plus 3 is equals to 100, which makes k equals to 97. The value of k is 97. Now, it is important that we be very familiar with this method of working out, because this is what is going to enable us to understand the method of quadratic formula. So let's take another example, 25x squared minus bx plus c. You are told that this is a perfect square. This is a perfect square, and you are told that it is identically, this expression is identically equal to ax minus 3 squared. So find the values of A, B, and C. So to solve this, we will say 25x squared minus bx plus c is equals to, we square this, so it becomes a squared x squared minus 6ax plus 9. And from there, we simply compare the coefficients. You can see that the coefficient of x squared on the right side is a squared. Coefficient of x squared on the left side is 25. Therefore, we can say a squared is equals to 25, which makes the conclusion that a is equals to 5. Secondly, the middle term, we have negative 6a, not just 6a. Negative 6a is equals to negative b. So you can write that down. Negative b is equals to negative 6a, which implies that b is equals to 6 times 5, which is equals to 30. B is equals to 30. Now we are left with c. And c is the constant term on the left side. On the right side, we have c is equals to, 9 as the constant term. And therefore, we write the constant term. C compares with 9. So c is equals to 9. So this is the method that we are going to use to determine the quadratic formula. So, quadratic formula. Now, a quadratic formula is actually the shortest way of finding the roots of a quadratic equation. Now, what do I mean by roots? Roots means solution. Solution of a quadratic equation. Now, why am I putting them in plural? It's because for a quadratic equation, you will normally have two solutions. Let's say, for example, you are given 4x squared minus 10x plus 9. And you are told to solve. So to solve this, it means find the value of x, or find x. Find x. And usually, it will have two solutions, which we call the roots of the equation. So, the quadratic formula. Consider an equation, a quadratic equation, ax squared plus bx plus c is equals to 0. Now, if we divide throughout by a, we will have x squared plus b over a x plus c over a is equals to 0. The next step will be to take c over a to the right-hand side of the equation, which gives us x squared plus b over a x is equals to negative c over a. Following that, we say we make left-hand side a perfect square. Now, this is the method we have been discussing throughout. So, to make the left-hand side a perfect square, we need to add what? The last term. The last term, we need to add the last term. Add last term, which should be equals to the middle term squared divided by 4 times the first term. So this will be equals to b over ax divided by 4 times x squared. 4 times x squared. And so, when you open the bracket, you have b squared x squared over 4a squared x squared. X squared cancels out, and this becomes b squared over 4a squared. So that means we have to add b squared over 4a squared on the left-hand side to make it a perfect square. And if we do that on the left-hand side, we must do the same on the right-hand side. So, our equation, therefore, becomes x squared plus b over ax plus b squared over 4a squared is equals to negative c over a plus b squared over 4a squared. Notice on the left-hand side we have added b squared over 4a squared, and we must do the same on the right-hand side so that the equation balances. So having done that, we now have a perfect square on the left-hand side. Because this one, remember what we said, how to write this. It is a square of the square root of x squared, x, plus becomes plus, and then the square root of b squared over 4a squared will be b over 2a. So the left-hand side can be written as x plus b over 2a whole squared. And on the right side, we will have, this can be written as b squared over 4a squared minus c over a. What we need to do now is to get the LCM on the right-hand side. And what do you think the LCM is? Here we have 4a squared, and this is a. The LCM will be 4a squared. So now, when we get the LCM, we can write the left-hand side as a single fraction. So now we have x plus b over 2a whole squared is equals to, we say LCM is 4a squared. Then we say 4a squared divided by 4a squared is 1 times b squared is b squared, minus becomes minus, 4a squared divided by a is 4a, times c is 4ac. The next step is to take square root on both sides. Taking square root on the left-hand side, we have x plus b over 2a is left. And on the right side, we will have square root of b squared minus 4ac divided by 4a squared. which can be written as square root of. Now, sorry, I forgot, whenever you take square root, you have to say plus or minus. So, because when you square a negative number, it gives you the same answer as a positive number. So this can be written as b squared minus 4ac. In other words, it is the square root of the numerator divided by the square root of the denominator. This will become plus or minus square root of b squared minus 4ac. What is the square root of 4a squared? It will be 2a. So what remains now, so that we are left with x on the left-hand side, is simply to take positive b over 2a to the right-hand side. We have x plus b over 2a is equals to plus or minus square root of b squared minus 4ac over 2a. So we now take b over 2a to the other side, and we have x alone on the left-hand side is equals to b over 2a becomes negative b over 2a, then plus or minus square root of b squared minus 4ac, all this divided by 2a. And you can see that they have a common denominator, and therefore they can be written as a single fraction, whereby x is equals to negative b plus or minus square root of b squared minus 4ac divided by 2a. And this is what we call the quadratic formula. So quadratic formula gives you the value of x in terms of the constants. Remember, in any quadratic formula, all these constants will be given. You'll be given the value of b, given the value of a, and the value of c. So in our next lesson, we will discuss in details about how to use the quadratic formula and what is the importance of this part. This part here is what we call the discriminant. And we will understand how it helps us to determine whether we can get the roots or get different roots or get equal roots. So with that, we'll come to the end of today's lesson. Thank you and bye-bye.